Stephen in Canada.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I don't have a question today. I just wanted to have your opinion. So I watch a lot of debates on atheism and theists and evolution and all that stuff, and it always comes back to religion and the Bible and Jesus. How about just believing that there's something out there, call it God if that's what you want, but leave religion out of it?
Well, I mean, deism is a thing. I just don't think there's any reason to believe in the deist God either. So are you a deist?
That's a good question. I never actually thought about that. I'm not even aware of the term.
Okay.
A deist is basically somebody who believes that there was a God who set the universe in motion but has been absentee and doesn't meddle in there since the creation, which is, I guess, a perfectly respectable position as much as any theistic belief is, but we don't believe that either.
Okay, yeah, exactly. All right.
So,
well, that I thought you guys were going to elaborate on that a little more, but that's fine.
well, I mean, what do you want us to agree with?
No, it's not. Actually, it's not agreeing or not agreeing. It's just that I watched the show a few times, and we rarely get people who call and talk about, not talking about the Bible, because it seems like it's always a question of being an atheist or being religious.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I mean, part of the reason we talk about the Bible so much is that Christians outnumber any other religious group, by a long shot, in the U.S. at least. And so that's primarily where, we get our calls is, primarily North America, I would say.
Because you see Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The position that I'm in, I'm often debating against atheists and also debating against Christians.
Okay.
Because we just don't agree.
Okay.
I don't believe in evolution. I've studied evolution quite a bit, and scientifically
What do you mean studied quite a bit? Have you taken any formal biology classes on the subject?
Self-taught.
Okay, so you mean you read stuff on the internet?
Oh, I've went to, whichever. We don't have to get into that. But, I mean, I've learned...
You brought it up.
Okay. Well, basically,
but I mean,
but the thing is, I mean, evolution is a completely non-controversial topic.
For scientists.
For scientists.
It's a very controversial political topic for a lot of Americans, but they don't...
There's a lot of scientists out there who don't believe in evolution because we have
there really
so
aren't
much scientific proof out there.
No, no, there really aren't. And I mean, if you go to some place like the Discovery Institute, and they're going to tell you, oh, look at all these scientists who don't. Of course,
if you stay in the mainstream.
But
if you stay in the mainstream, you're going to find everybody that agrees with evolution, of course, because
it's settled scientific fact.
It's
because it's a fringy conspiracy theory to be in a scientific field and also say evolution didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the subject of evolution because we could go on for hours.
But you brought it up.
Never gonna. I just said that I don't believe in evolution. That's why I don't agree necessarily with Christians, with atheists.
Yeah, so I mean,
I didn't want to get in detail.
But you're saying that we should agree on stuff, but you're bringing in these fringy views into the conversational by yourself that have no merit.
No, I'm just saying that I'm just giving you examples of why I don't necessarily agree with atheists, and on the other side, I don't necessarily agree with with Christians. Okay. Evolution is one of those reasons.
But
sit down and
evolution
talk
is
about
not
it for a long time.
evolution is not an inherently atheist position. That's a scientific conclusion. Evolution is a fact. Right?
Well,
And whether you're an atheist or not, that's not relevant to the question of evolution.
Yeah, one of the biggest promoters of evolution in the last decade was Francis Collins, who was the head of the NIH, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
And he is a committed Christian and has written a lot of stuff about his Christianity. But he is also a passionate fighter for science and argues strenuously against the idea that evolution is an atheist idea.
yeah, makes sense.
So it's kind of a tangent to begin with, is all I'm saying.
Well, if we just go back to the reason of my call, it was just to bring up the fact that I just think it's exhausting to always have to come back to the Bible. There's a guy on YouTube. His name is Anthony. I don't remember his last name, but he goes around and asks people.
Magnabusco?
Usually Christians. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He goes around and
The
asks
street
Christians
epistemology guy. We had him as a lecturer a few months ago. He's a big fan of our show.
Yeah.
Well, not a big fan, but
Yeah.
I don't know. He watches, and he had some nice things to say about us.
So,
But I'd love to see this guy, go out and ask people who aren't religious. But he seems to never do that.
okay, so you're talking to people who are not religious. What do you want to ask us?
Well, no, that's the. But you guys don't believe in God, though.
That's true,
Right?
but you do, right?
That's it. Well, yeah, I do.
Why?
So why?
It was just a break. Oh well, I have a lot of reasons why I believe in God, and
Give us the
science
best
is
one.
one of the biggest reasons. Well, one of the best ones. There's a lot of weird stuff out there, and I've seen a lot of weird stuff. And you guys believe in evolution, so it's going to be very hard to get you to understand something, why I don't believe in evolution and all that. But it's just scientifically, it just does not work, and that's.
Well, wait a minute. You were talking about why you believe a God exists, and now we've jumped back to evolution. So.
Yeah, because the fact that evolution does not work for me is one of the reasons why I believe there's a God. And now, when I say that I believe that there's a God, I don't want you to get this image in your head of this religious God. It's
All right. Tell us specifically what this God is like so that we don't have an inaccurate picture.
Well, we don't know that now, do we?
Well, then
So-
you are talking
so-
about something you don't know about and
Yeah.
trying to get us to accept this thing that you just said you don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm not trying to. Okay, guys, I'm not trying to convince you to agree with me. I
Okay.
just brought up the point that the whole point of my call is just to share with you guys that I'm tired of these debates against religion and atheism.
So get your
That's
own show.
really what I wanted to say.
Well, we're not tired of these debates. And
Yeah, we didn't call you.
I'm really curious about this because you started to tell us that one of the biggest reasons you believe in a God is because all these weird things happen, but then you jumped into evolution. And I would like to understand what these weird things are.
I'm going to have to make a nice list because you know how it is. I'm calling a live show right now. I'm a little nervous. I don't have any notes or anything. So I'm going to have to make a nice big list and call you back like in 2 weeks or something. Then I'll be able to discuss
You're
in
totally
detail.
welcome to do that if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so we'll hear from you in 2 weeks.
No, possibly.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Well,
Thanks.
thanks for calling. That one.